What happens inside your mind when you know the exact day you're going to die? Not guess, not fear, but know. At first, nothing happens. And that's the part no one expects. No panic, no screaming, no dramatic collapse, just stillness. You sit there, your body is present, but your mind pauses, like something inside you refuses to move forward. And that silence, it feels heavier than fear, because fear has movement. This doesn't. Your brain isn't built for certainty like this. It understands danger. It understands maybe, but definitely, that breaks something. So instead of reacting, your mind delays. This isn't real. This will change. There must be a mistake. This is denial, not weakness. Protection. Your brain is buying you time, because if it didn't, the weight of reality would crush you all at once. Outside your cell, there's a faint echo of footsteps. Slow, measured. Keys brush against metal. A distant door slams. Then silence returns. Longer this time. You notice things you never would have before. The cold surface of the bed, the rough texture of the wall, the way time feels stretched. Minutes don't move normally anymore. They drag or disappear completely. And slowly, that denial begins to crack. No one comes to correct the mistake. No voice interrupts the silence. No miracle arrives. And that's when the thought enters your mind. Not loud, but sharp. What now? That question changes everything. Because now, you're not escaping reality anymore. You're standing inside it. And when the future disappears, the mind turns backward. You begin to remember. Not the big achievements, not the moments you once thought defined you, but the small things. A conversation you ended too quickly. A person you didn't listen to. A moment you didn't appreciate. These memories don't feel important at first, but they stay. They repeat. Because when time becomes limited, meaning becomes precise. Psychologists have observed this pattern again and again. When everything external is taken away, the human mind starts searching internally for meaning, for understanding, for something that makes all of this make sense. But here's something uncomfortable. Not everyone finds peace here. Some people break, quietly. Because beneath the memories, there's something heavier. Regret. And regret doesn't arrive gently. It comes all at once. Moments replay in your mind, again and again. Things you said in anger, things you never said at all, opportunities you ignored, and now you can't change any of them. That's the part that hurts the most. Not the ending, the finality of your past. Because for the first time, you're forced to see it clearly. No distractions, no noise, no escape. Just you and everything you've ever avoided. This is where identity begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself the way you used to, not as right or wrong, not as good or bad, but as shaped. Shaped by things you didn't fully understand at the time. This is where deeper psychology comes in. Human behavior is rarely random. It's patterned, learned, conditioned over time. A child raised in chaos learns control, not calm. A child who feels unseen learns to seek validation, sometimes in the wrong places. A child exposed to pain learns to protect themselves, even if that protection becomes harmful later. These patterns don't disappear. They follow you, quietly, until one day you're forced to look at them. And in that prison cell, that day comes. You begin to realize something difficult. You weren't always aware. You were reacting, responding to things you didn't fully understand. And now, you see it, clearly. The same habits that once protected you also pushed people away. The same strength you relied on may have caused damage. Protection became isolation. Control became distance. Survival became consequence. And there's no escaping that truth anymore. But here's where something unexpected happens. Understanding begins. Not justification, not excuses, just clarity. And that clarity does something strange. It softens you. Because for the first time, you're not defending yourself. You're seeing yourself completely, and that changes the way you feel. The anger fades, not completely, but enough. The resistance weakens, and slowly, acceptance appears. Not the kind people talk about casually, not it's okay, but something deeper. This is real. This happened. I see it now. This is what psychologists call radical acceptance. Not approval, not agreement, just truth without resistance. And when you stop fighting reality, something shifts inside you. The noise in your mind quiets, not all at once, but gradually, like a storm losing its intensity. You start breathing differently, thinking differently, feeling differently. And in that stillness, something rare appears. Clarity. Life begins to look different. Not endless, not guaranteed, but fragile, limited. And suddenly, things that once felt important don't feel the same anymore. Ego fades. Pride fades. Unnecessary worries fade. What remains is simple connection, moments, presence. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Clarity like this, usually comes too late. But it doesn't have to. Because this isn't just about a prisoner. It's about what happens to any human mind when all distractions are removed. And right now, you still have distractions, noise, screens, endless things to keep you from thinking too deeply. You can scroll, avoid, delay. You can tell yourself, I'll deal with it later. But later is uncertain. And one day, without warning, it disappears. No countdown, no preparation, just gone. And that's what makes this different. The prisoner knows, you don't. But the psychology is the same. Avoidance delays clarity. Not forever, just temporarily. So the real question isn't about death. It's about awareness. What are you avoiding right now? What truth are you refusing to face? What part of yourself are you keeping hidden, even from yourself? Because silence doesn't erase these things. It reveals them. And maybe that's why you stay busy. Not because life is overwhelming, but because stillness is. Because in stillness, there's nowhere to hide. But here's the shift. What if that stillness isn't something to fear? What if it's the only place where clarity exists? Because when everything else fades, what remains is real. And real things are the only things that bring peace. So instead of waiting for life to force you into awareness, you choose it now. Not perfectly, not all at once, but honestly. Have the conversation you've been avoiding. Face the feeling you keep pushing away. Acknowledge the truth you already know deep down. Because awareness is uncomfortable, but it's also freeing. And freedom isn't always about escaping something. Sometimes it's about finally understanding it. If this made you pause, even for a moment, then maybe it's something you needed to hear. Subscribe for more content that helps you understand yourself a little deeper. Because the truth is, you still have time. And one day, you won't.